I'm Captain Todd. Welcome to the Team Efficiency video how-to series. In this series we're going to cover a wide variety of topics, show some of the rigging, the knots, the different techniques that we use while we fish for tuna here in the Northwest. Our goal is to help you to learn a few things so that you can become a better tuna fisherman. Now, a lot of the techniques that we're going to show you can be adapted to other fisheries as well, such as rockfish or bottom fishing, salmon fishing in some instances. So just because we focus mostly on tuna doesn't mean that you have to. Today's video is going to be how to rig a big hammer swim bait. So stick with us. We'll get started here in just a minute. Okay, so here we go. First off, you'll notice that these big hammer swim baits have this great big square tail on them. This is in comparison to a regular swim bait I don't know who made this one, but you can see the difference in the size. That big tail makes this bait really kick hard when it goes through the water. It makes it really have a great swimming action that the tuna would find irresistible. This happens to be one of my favorite colors. It's called a Pacific Chovy, or it mimics an anchovy. It has this blue with a black top on it, and it's a really popular color. My other favorite is a deep purple, which has some purple and black in here. So that's why we like these big hammers. They have vibrant colors. They have a great tail, a good kicking action. Now, to find these locally, it's difficult. You have to go to qcove.com. Our friend Flasher, Ken Pinnell, he stocks these. He has a great deal on them. You can also buy these swim bait heads. Swim bait heads have eyes on the side, either yellow or red, and you can get them in various sizes. For tuna, we like the 1 ounce size or the 3/4 ounce size. You can cast them really nicely. It fits the bait really nice, and you can also get larger sizes if you wish to troll, or if you want to, say, cast them or go deep in the current for rockfish or something like that. It works really well for that as well. So let's show you how to rig this thing up, okay? Okay, so to rig your swim bait, you're going to need three things. You're going to need a lead head, you're going to need a swim bait body, and you're going to need some super glue or some Zap-A-Gap or something like that. There are a couple tricks that you need to know to make these things swim efficiently. You can plug one on there real fast and make it catch a fish, but if you take a few moments and spend some attention to detail, you will get these to swim a little bit better, and they'll last up a lot longer. You'll be able to catch multiple fish before you lose this body. What will eventually happen, like what happened to this one here, the hook will eventually rip out and the body won't be any good any longer. Okay, so if you take a few extra moments to rig it right, you'll be able to catch a few extra fish before you have to replace this body. So a couple things to really pay attention to when you rig this bait. One is that you want this head to line up perfectly with the body. See how the top of it here, there's no gap? You want to try to make that as smooth as possible. The other thing is you want to figure out where the natural spot would be that the hook would pop out. If you have this too far forward or back, you're going to have the body kind of bunched up on there, and it won't swim correctly. So the way that we do this is we lay this kind of on here like this, and we size it up. We see where, we kind of look at the end, and we figure out where the hook is going to go into the body. In this case, it's just below this dark blue line here. Okay, so that's where the hook is going to enter the body of the swim bait. Then we hold it up there kind of naturally, and we say, hey, this looks like where the hook is going to come out. So we'll take this hook and we'll put a little poke right there. So now we know where we want that hook to come out. Additionally, we lined up that hook in the center of the body, not offset. We want that hook to come right out the center. We want it to go right in through the center of the front here, or wherever we've decided that our point would be to make it level. And by doing this, you'll get this bait on there really nice and straight. For casting, it won't make quite as much difference, but if you have to drift it or slow troll this bait to get a bite, it'll really swim nicely. It won't roll, the body won't crunch up, and everything will go swell. So here's our starting point. We've decided that we want this hook to go right in below this blue line here, and we're just going to feed this body right up the hook and just kind of work its way up. And we're just going to push it on up, and you'll start to see where that hook is going to pop out of that little mark that we made right there. So it's coming out in the perfect spot. Okay. So at this point, there's a little barb here on the lead head. You want to push it up past the barb and get it up there nice and tight, as close as you can. See how nice and even that came out? It's even this way. And you can adjust it a little bit here. It's even that way. The hook comes out right in the center. The head fits this bait really nicely. At that point, you're basically done installing the bait. One last trick that we like to do is take a little super glue and push this back here and put a couple dabs in each side. You glue this head on here. And what this does is it keeps this head intact with the body. You just hold it there for a moment while it dries. What will happen is when the fish bites this, if you don't glue it, this body will kind of pull down and rip off the hook a little bit faster. By gluing this here, just a couple drops is all you need. I got a little bit thick on this side. But by gluing this here, it'll hold the body in place. If a fish comes up and bites it and misses, the body will stay in place. You can keep drifting it and get another bite. Typically we find you can catch 3 or 4 more fish on this body before you lose it. Now, if you get a bite on here and the bait starts to rip, you can just take your glue and glue that seam back shut and kind of hold it in place for a second while it dries and keep fishing that body. Okay? The bodies are fairly cheap, especially if you buy them in bulk, and they're really effective for casting at tuna. If you see tuna on the surface, kind of puddling on the surface, or they're just under the water, you can cast this, and boy, they really target this. So there it is. That's how you do it, and it's very important to get this all straight if you're going to troll this at all. Okay, like I say, for casting, it's not quite as important. You can see that tail when it gets in the water; it kicks pretty hard, and it's really pretty irresistible to a tuna. So thanks for joining us, and look forward to some more tips coming soon.